Young and the Restless spoilers next 2 week May 13th to May 24th, 2024. In Genoa City, the lives of its residents continued to intertwine in complex and sometimes painful ways. Jack Abbott, grappling with his own demons, made the decision to enter a rehabilitation center for alcohol dependency, a move that signaled his commitment to bettering himself and salvaging his relationship with Diane. However, Jack's lingering jealousy over Diane's interactions with Tucker only added a layer of tension to their already fragile relationship. Diane, committed to supporting Jack through his recovery, reassured him that her meetings with Tucker were innocent and necessary. Yet, she couldn't help but feel strained by Jack's constant inquiries about Nikki. His concern for Nikki, while perhaps a sign of unresolved feelings, complicated Diane's efforts to rebuild their bond. The possibility that Jack and Nikki might end up at the same rehabilitation center loomed over them, a scenario that could either rekindle old feelings or help them finally move on. Meanwhile, in another corner of Genoa City, Kyle and Summer's relationship hit yet another rough patch. Summer's stubbornness, a trait that had once drawn Kyle to her, now served as a wedge driving them apart. Their inability to resolve their issues hinted at deeper problems that might not be so easily fixed. Caught in her own emotional turmoil, Claire faced a heartrending decision. After the fallout with her uncle Victor and the dramatic rescue of Jordan, she felt increasingly isolated. Her relationship with Kyle, once a source of comfort, now seemed to add to her stress rather than alleviate it. The betrayal she felt from her family combined with the friction with Kyle pushed her to a breaking point. Claire began to contemplate the painful possibility of stepping away from Kyle, a decision that pained her but seemed necessary to find peace and regain control over her life. As these stories unfolded, each character was forced to confront their own vulnerabilities and the complexities of their relationships. Genoa City, a place where no secret stays hidden for long, watched as each of these individuals navigated the tricky waters of love, loyalty, and personal growth. Whether these journeys would lead to reconciliation or further heartbreak remained to be seen, as each person struggled to find their path in the tangled web of their lives. Victor Newman, the master manipulator of Genoa City, found himself in an unfamiliar position, a loss of control over Jordan, who had become a rogue element in his meticulously crafted schemes. The realization that Jordan had escaped and reneged on their agreement sent ripples of concern through Victor's mind. His inability to contact her only compounded his frustration and hinted at the possibility of his own vulnerability. Jordan, having endured Victor's oppressive manipulation, harbored a deep-seated resentment that had only intensified during her confinement. Her escape was not just a bid for freedom, it was the beginning of her vendetta against those she felt had wronged her, primarily targeting Jack and the entire Abbott family. The seeds of revenge that had been sown during her time under Victor's control were now ready to flourish in an ominous plot. Victor, on the other hand, was not one to be easily outplayed. His reputation for strategic foresight and contingency planning left many wondering whether his apparent loss of control was just another layer in a deeper game. The question loomed, was Victor truly blindsided by Jordan's escape, or was it possible that he had anticipated her betrayal and set a trap to ensnare her once she acted on her impulses? As Jordan moved stealthily, plotting her next moves against the Abbotts, Victor was forced to reevaluate his strategies. The complexity of the situation was not lost on him. He knew that underestimating Jordan could be a fatal error. Perhaps, in his typical fashion, Victor had prepared for such a betrayal, embedding safeguards and countermeasures that were not immediately apparent. In the shadowy chess game that is life in Genoa City, each player was poised, ready to make their move. Victor, with his vast resources and deep connections, might still have a few tricks up his sleeve, while Jordan, fueled by vengeance and liberated from her chains, was a wild card with nothing to lose. As the tension escalated, the other residents of Genoa City watched warily, aware that the fallout from this clash of wills could have unforeseen consequences for everyone involved. The impending showdown between Victor and Jordan promised to reveal hidden agendas, test loyalties, and possibly reshape the power dynamics in Genoa City forever.